Hello, it's Ruthie with the Purple Backyard Farm. We're going to learn how to triple crochet. Yay! Throw confetti, throwing balloons. Okay, guys, here's how to get started on the triple crochet. All right, we're going to chain, let's chain 20. 1, 2, so if you don't know how to chain, you'll see right now how to do it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just the bottom loop over the top, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now with 20 stitches, depending on the size of your needle, you could easily make a dishcloth and or a washcloth, and those are cute. A lot of people use cotton yarn for that, but you can use acrylic too. Okay, so now we've got the chain on of 20 stitches. So how do we get started? I like to hold the end of the loop and I knot everything because I've had too many projects come out by not knotting them. There's a way to do crochet without knotting, but I've been doing this since I've been 11 and I used to do it that way and I had too many projects come loose and I said, I'm knotting everything. It's too much hard work to lose a project. Okay, just a little tip there. So I hold the last loop in my hand and then I do 3. 1, 2, 3. You're just chaining on 3. Then I have that loop where that is, and I go over to the next one. The first row is always a little, it's not harder, but it's, until you get used to working with this, it's a little bit more tricky, I think. Okay, then you wrap the yarn around there. You go into the next loop, and 1. Now you take off 2, and then you take off the other 2. So I would count to 3 when you're doing that. So here I go. Wrap the yarn around. 1, 2, 3. So we call that the double crochet in the US. Okay, wrap the yarn around. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Take your time. It's only yarn. If you make a mistake, oh well, it's only yarn. It's only yarn. But see how the pattern's coming out a little bit? This used to be my favorite stitch. It still is, but I also like some other stitches now. I get like, all over. But when I want to just like have a no-brainer day where I'm just like watching a movie or something, I love this stitch because it just works up so fast and it's relaxing. And I can just watch TV and not even think about it and just crochet. And it's fun because you can crochet blankets and curtains and baby outfits and baby blankets and gifts for weddings and, everybody oohs and ah. You can open up your own Etsy shop and sell items. People stop me all the time. They want to buy what I've made, or they want to, they want me to teach them how to crochet. I don't sell anything I make. You are certainly welcome to copy my creations because I do make up a lot of my own patterns and sell them in your Etsy store because I don't sell anything. I'm retired and we teach life skills. So you can dream big with crochet because it's getting to be a lost skill and not a lot of people know how to do it. So it's a great thing. You could open classes and teach it if you want. But in fact, with these videos, you can invite your whole family over and get a group of people over and work together and crochet together, have a crochet along, I know with the social distancing is going on right now, so it's probably just going to be people in your own household. But that'll be fun, right? So, here we go. Okay, let's do this again on the bottom. In 1, 2, 3. And you can rewind this video as many times as you want to look at it. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Now you're at the end of the row, and see how nice that looks? You could save this and use this for a blanket. Or not blanket. I mean a bracelet. It would be too small to be a blanket, right guys? Unless you have a mouse or a snake. Okay guys, so now you're at the end of the row. So now what? You want to turn it around. It does look a little bit like an inchworm. Da-da-da-da. Okay, all right. So now you're at the end. So what do? You do 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you are new for years and years and years, I never chained 3. I just did a regular old triple crochet here, just so you know. But let's go. Now you go into the next hole next to that one. 1, 2, 3. So you wrap the yarn around. 1, 2, 3. Try to do it not too tight, because as you go into the next holes, which some of you probably are experiencing this, because when I first started crocheting, I experienced it. But if you do it too tight, it's hard to get in these holes. You'll find your way with this. You'll find your patterns, and meaning your patterns, your tension, how tight you're going to make. You'll naturally gravitate to that eventually. But in the beginning, you know, it might be loose or too tight, but you'll get it. It's not hard. It's just practice makes perfect. Okay? Some people like metal hooks better. Some people like steel hooks. It all depends on what you like. But see how nice this is? People love crochet. Now I've got to unwrap some more yarn. Now you can take the yarn out of the center of your yarn, or you can take it off the outside. I think it's easier out of the center, but sometimes your yarn can get knotted. And so if that's the case, what you're going to want to do, guys, is you're going to want to take your yarn and roll it in balls. Some people do that. They just like to roll all the yarn in a ball before they even use it. And some people will put it in a coffee can and poke a hole in the top so the ball of yarn doesn't go rolling through the house. Usually when I'm crocheting, if my cats see me, they are all over me because they like it. And you can make cat toys and things like that too. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's so relaxing. And it's really not an expensive hobby. I mean, I know that yarn's gone up in price, but there's a lot of times it's on clearance. But I also think that the items that you're making are priceless. They're going to go on for generations in your family. I mean, some people smoke, some people drink, some people play Scrabble, some people play bingo. So if that's your hobby and you want, you know, if you put the money in it, you'll get good at it. It's not really hard. A needle is like maybe $1 or $2, and a ball of yarn could be anywhere from $2 to probably $7, depending on the quality and what you're buying. Most people just buy the Red Heart yarn at Walmart, which runs about $3.50, just so you know. And you can always tell everybody too, buy me yarn. My husband and I, when we go out, I usually buy myself a present, and a lot of times it'll be like, I want yarn. I used to buy 1 skein of yarn every week, and that's okay, or 2 weeks or whatever, and you know, that's what you do sometimes. We just, you know, I did that for a while. And then you'll build up a little bit of what they call stash of your yarn. And if you're new to crochet, just because I'm talking as I'm doing this, because I want you guys to be in the know. Like if you see someone say a whip, that's a work in progress. And I encourage you to start a YouTube channel while you're learning. It'll be fun for you. You can show people the creations you make. And, you know, it just gives you a little video recording of your progress, you know. This is the last one. 1, 2, 3. I'm so glad that you came and visited with me today and I could show you how to triple crochet. Okay, so now I'm at the end again. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Remember, we're chaining here. And you can double crochet if you don't want to chain, if you feel like it's getting you off your project. And you can count as you go too, to keep you, like your stitches, like I would go 1, 2, and count to 20 as I'm going down, because that's how many I put on this loop. And this could, like I said, when you're done, it can be a washcloth, it can be a dishcloth. If you saw my other videos on how to single crochet, you can single crochet all along the edge to give it a border, or not, whatever you feel like doing. I mean, this is a great stitch to make just about anything. The triple crochet is just, like I said, it was my favorite for a long time. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you're getting it. I'll be doing a lot more videos. I might even do repeats of the ones, you know, of the how to chain and how to get it, you know, start off. But for right now, I just wanted to put up some basic videos. A lot of people have been asking me lately, and I've been telling them, you know, people will stop me all the time and they ask me about crochet. And so I'm like, okay, you know. So I've just been doing it for a long time. So it's kind of something I enjoy. And I like helping other people. And it's a wonderful hobby. And there's a great community on YouTube of crocheters. And everybody helps each other. They have live streams. They're just really nice. You know, I have my channels a little bit of everything, because we teach life skills. Because I'm going to also show you guys some other fiber arts that I do. And I think you guys will enjoy it. But crochet has always been very close to my heart, and I love it. I just love it. And I mean, I've made curtains, I've made clothing, I've made skirts, I've made tops, I've made just about everything. It's just fun. So, are you having fun crocheting? I hope so. Okay, remember, 1, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's do it again. 1, wrap it around underneath, pull it out. And practice makes perfect. And, you know, and it's fun. Like I said, it's a lot of fun. You'll love it. You'll be like, oh my goodness. The main thing is to keep going. The first time I taught somebody to crochet was really kind of a funny story. You guys will like this. It was one of my nieces, and I hadn't crocheted in a long time because I was a businesswoman and I was always working. I mean, I crocheted, but you know how it is when you do it yourself, but then you go to teach other people. Well, for some reason, I don't know why. I mean, we must have just met for a few minutes or something. And I showed her, and she somehow got a stitch wrong that I showed her. And she did it so tight, and I felt so bad when I saw her, because what had happened was she bought like the tiniest needle, I think, and she had like a big, huge project. I mean, it worked out okay because it was actually just another stitch that she was probably doing. But I remember I could see this big piece in that little tiny stitch for the first time out the door, and I felt so bad because I know she had worked hours and hours, because she lived far from me, so we didn't see each other that often. And what we would do is, actually, she taught me how to drive, so that's how that happened. So she came over to teach me how to drive, and while she was teaching me how to drive, I think as she was leaving or something, I must have showed her how to crochet. And it was a while, you know, since I had been crocheting, so isn't that awful? I feel bad about that now. But sometimes that happens. I mean, you know, you kind of, it's like riding a bike. Once you start to crochet, you usually never forget your stitches. But sometimes, like I said, you may, like I think I didn't always single crochet. I was usually doing the stitch. And so I think that I may have just showed her. I don't want to show you what I showed her. I know what I did. But it was just, it would have been a lot easier for her. Let's just put it this way. But I feel bad. But we're very close, so it's like, it's one of those stories, but the project came out really nice, you know. But when you're new, I suggest getting a big hook and just like a red heart yarn, because you don't want to be crocheting like really thin yarn and stuff. You can, but it's just harder, I think, when you're learning. So, did you like my story? Oh, and I remember the first time I started to learn how to crochet, and actually this was the first stitch I think I learned was the triple. And I made a zigzag blanket. And I used every single color that had no rhyme or reason. It looked weird. I did that too. The first time I made a sweater, it looked really weird, and I brought it to a thrift store, and the lady pulled it out, didn't know I was there, one of the other ladies, and said, "What do I do with this?" They're like, "Throw it in the Halloween bag." I mean, it was crazy. But I had never, it was like I was trying to do like a granny square sweater to make it go. It's kind of funny, but we'll do some sweaters too down the road, and I'll tell you some tricks that I learned in, doing sweaters. But that was like, just kind of like, well, let's see if I can make a sweater kind of thing. Okay, guys, so you see how this is going? I hope you're enjoying this, getting you to get going. So remember, 1, 2, 3. You're at the end now. 1, 2, 3. You turn your work around, see? And let's be lazy and just say, oh, I'm worried about making that chain for some reason. Not that you should be, but what I used to do is I used to just do this. Go in here and then just double crochet. It doesn't really make any difference. But see, I even use my fingers sometimes. It just looks a little wonkier, but you can do it. It's just, it's not going to do much difference. It's just going to look a little, it just looks a little different. See how that looks a little bit different? It'll be all right, though, once it all boils out. Or boils out, you'll see. It'll just all be, like, even on the side when I'm done anyway. But that's how that goes. And as you get doing these, like I said, you can do dishcloths. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can do things like chain one and skip a stitch if you want to make a little something different. You know what I mean? You could chain one and skip a stitch. If you're here with me this far, I'll tell you a little, just to make it a little different. And then you have something that looks more like, you know what I mean? But see how you can just have fun with it? But I would suggest before you start doing any of that, get this down pat. But I wanted to show you that there are options. There's lots of things you can do once you get crocheting. Just little changes make your project so different. Okay, guys. So if you've been with me this long, this is how big the piece came out. Look how nice it's going to be. And it does. It works out great. I like these for dishwashing with acrylic because I think they make good scrubbers. But some people don't. A lot of people use cotton. And it's really your choice what you want to do. And you can, like, make things like this for the holidays. You can make hats. Oh, it's so easy. And there's just so many things. And I'll be showing you how to do all those things. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. I hope that you have fun. And, so I'm going to be doing these as much as I can. And I hope you enjoyed this. So remember, big or small, you too can be a backyard farm. God bless.